Willie D live.
What's up, family? Question. Am I the only one who wakes up in the middle of the night and walk around the house looking out the window, peeping around corners? You know? Yeah, fam. I be looking, man. I be like, a lot of things happen in the middle of the night. A lot of things happen while most of the world is asleep, you know? So, yeah, I be watching, fam. I be looking, man. Like, what's going on? Because that's when a lot of times people decide that they want to go out there and do something, because visibility is low at night. That's why a lot of crime happen at night, happen in the wee hours, such as, well, I won't necessarily say this is a crime, but it's an event. Something happened, something peculiar happened. Iran put out their 14-point plan command issued to the United States, and Trump responded. Yeah, fam. Let's get into this article. Let's get into this article right quick. I want to share this article with you guys, and this was from the Telegraph. Iran offers Trump 1-month deal to end war as world faces tipping point. Iran has proposed a 1-month deadline to permanently end the war with the U.S. and open the Strait of Hormuz. Have y'all noticed that they don't talk about Israel anymore? They just say U.S. and Iran. Interesting. Anyway, the latest deal submitted by Tehran to Donald Trump via mediators in Pakistan will leave the issue of its nuclear capabilities unresolved until after agreement has been met on other issues. The proposal arrived as oil analysts warned that a tipping point in global crude oil reserves would be hit by the end of May, threatening to send prices soaring in the summer. The 14-point plan would require both sides to lift their blockades of the Strait of Hormuz, completely end the war in Lebanon, and release Iran's frozen assets. It would also require the U.S. to pay compensation and lift sanctions against Tehran. Iran has proposed a deadline of a month for both sides to reach an agreement on a permanent end to the war. Only in a second stage would the two sides discuss the country's nuclear program. In an initial reaction, Donald Trump, your president, appeared to react to the plan. What did this dude say? I will soon be reviewing the plan that Iran has just sent us, but can't imagine that it would be acceptable in that they have not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So what exactly has Iran done to the rest of the world over the last 47 years? Because last time I checked, it was the U.S. that was on Iran's head. Yeah, 40, 50, 60 years ago. It was the United States. Interesting. It's interesting how, Iran has been painted as the bad guys when they were attacked. Malcolm said something similar to that, how if you're not careful, and I'm paraphrasing, the U.S. media will have you thinking that the bad guy is the good guy and the good guy is the bad guy. That's cold-blooded right there, fam. They'll have you thinking that the victim is the perpetrator and the perpetrator is the victim. Ooh-wee, man. Before I go any further, fam, let's address the elephant in the room. I thought we ended the war. Well, I thought Trump ended the war. He said we ended the war. He said he ended the war, and when he destroyed Iran's military capacity. He said he destroyed everything. All of their ships at the bottom of the ocean. So who are we negotiating? This is a better question. Why are we negotiating? If the war is over and we won the war, why are we negotiating? This is indicative of the phrase, pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. They can pretty much do anything that they want to do and spin the narrative. This whole thing has been all about spinning the narrative. It don't matter what the truth is, man. We're going to hear a different story. We'll hear a different story every time. This has to be because Trump has told us this. It has to be true. What I want to know is this a better deal than the one we had in place before Trump tore it up? You know, we had a deal in place, but Trump didn't like it because Barack Obama negotiated it. Had Barack's signature on it. Trump didn't like that. So in true hater fashion, he started a war. He started beef with somebody just because he was hating. It's almost like a dude who want to fight a chick because she preferred to date the other guy. He don't want to fight the guy. He want to fight the dude. He want to fight the chick. Yeah. The Republican Dr. Jesus is one of the worst things that ever happened to this country. And his legacy will mar the legacy of America forever. I mean, when you start thinking about the worst people that America has ever produced, he's going to be right there at the top of the list with the rest of the slave owners. He's going to be right there at the top. One of the worst of the worst. It's a damn shame, man, that every single day we turn on the internet, we turn on the news, we see the so-called leader of the free world hurling racial epithets. He's cursing, you know. He's being belligerent. He's talking like he's lost his last marble. The dude is a train wreck. And he is a symbol of America. He is the leader, the so-called leader of the so-called free world. And I say so-called free world because it seemed like to me, like wherever you go in the world, if you find champions of truth, they come under attack. Like the people who are really for the people seem to be under attack the most. And this is cold-blooded right here, fam. What makes it extra hard for them to do their job is the people who know they're right, but won't stand by them out of fear. Yeah, man, there's a lot of people out there who won't stand next to righteous people, won't stand up for them, won't ride with them, won't even publicly praise them because they're afraid of what the demons are going to think or what the demons are going to do. How is it that the good guys are the ones that are being executed? When you think about assassinations in this country, everybody that's been assassinated, I mean, say Charlie Kirk, has been people that has overwhelming public support, where the people overwhelmingly, the people collectively loved. They were loved, they were revered by the people. Revered by the people. Feared by the demon. Yeah. Look at, go all the way down the line. The wicked get to live their life all the way out. The wicked oftentimes don't even go to jail. The wicked very seldom gets investigated. It's the people who try to bridge the gap, it's the people who try to bring people together, the people who expose corruption, the people who highlight evil, the people who do the work, who take the greatest risk. Those are the people who take the risk. When you're doing dirty and your dirt is being sanctioned, you're not taking any risk. That's not risky because you've been approved by the oligarchy, so you're not taking any risk. It's the ones who are really for the people who take the risk. Y'all want to know that 14-point plan? Well, you know what? I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to get right down to it. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty. I'm going to tell you what some key elements of that 14-point plan is. Here are some key aspects. So a 30-day timeline, we talked about that, to resolve all the issues, aimed for a complete end to the war rather than just extending a truce. A demand for U.S. forces to leave the vicinity of Iran's borders. Demands for the lifting of economic sanctions and the release of billions in frozen Iranian assets. A new mechanism for the security of the Strait of Hormuz. A request for war reparations. Ending hostilities on all fronts, specifically mentioning the conflict in Lebanon. So these are the main things, some of the main things that Iran wants. I'll tell you the big ones. The biggest one is, for the U.S., is Iran not wanting to agree to not pursue a nuclear program at any point in the future. Iran like, yo, man, we might do this for like a couple of years or something like that, but just forever, ever? Hell no, we ain't doing that. What if Iran sent the United States that same demand and said a suspension of all of the United States of America's nuclear program? Because that's Iran's greatest threat. Iran's greatest threat is the U.S.'s ability to drop nuclear bombs on its country. So if I'm Iran, I'm putting that in the plan, man. Yeah. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.